Hey guys, and welcome to my podcast. I'm your host Sonya with Sonya's Open Cupboard, and today I wanted to talk about how to find rest in our day-to-day lives that are becoming busier and busier. Recently, we have had a lot of coming and going of guests in our home, and we squished as many as 5 people into our 600 square foot studio apartment. So you can imagine how tight that can get with that many people. We've had a lot of late nights watching movies and chatting, and a lot of early mornings either going out on adventures or just waking up for work because, adulting. The last few days, I have been feeling the exhaustion creeping in as I started to lean more and more on coffee and chocolate every day to keep me going. Not to mention my extremely extroverted self was slowly turning into an introvert. I just wanted to put my head under a pillow and be alone. The problem is that I spread my time and energy way too thin over the last few weeks. Today, everyone went home and I completely crashed. The feeling of sleep exhaustion, dehydration, whacked out hormones, and sore muscles had me in bed for a nap at noon, and I was sleeping for over 2 hours. If that doesn't say anything, my husband, who does not nap, ever, has taken a 2-hour siesta while I've been recording and putting together this podcast. So that's how you know we're a little tired. So here I am, sitting and reevaluating how I'm going to approach the rest of this awesome summer, and I'm realizing what I need in all this busy and exciting times is to just slow down. So how do we slow down during one of the busiest seasons of the year? Well, I get it. I'm here. This is my life right now. And if you have kids, you work all the time, have school, or I don't know, maybe you're doing all three. Life is insane and it doesn't stop for you. So this is where you have to take responsibility for finding the time and ability to slow things down a bit for yourself. Even though slowing down is important, it is hard to know where to start. So I've put together a list of a few things that are helpful for me in times when I find that I have too many things going on and not enough time to rest. And hopefully these can help you answer the question in your own life as to how to slow down. So first of all, you want to start thinking about the time wasters in your life. And by time wasters, I don't mean sleep. A lot of people are like, if I just were to wake up earlier or to go to bed later and get everything done in that time, it would be great and I would find that extra time in my day. This doesn't really work because you need sleep. This is all about rest. This isn't about productivity. But when you find rest, you become a lot more productive. So sleep is not a time waster. What I mean by time wasters are mindless activities like going on social media that drain our time to rest and regroup in our day-to-day life. I'm not saying that you have to go to the extremes and cut out all social media because life doesn't work on extreme restrictions. You're more than likely setting yourself up for failure when you have extreme restrictions, and this doesn't actually solve the problem of creating solid boundaries in life. There are things you can do like set timers on your social media apps or leave the checking of social media for specific times of the day away from bedtime when you're supposed to be taking the time for yourself to rest and recover. What I do is set a 30-minute timer on Instagram since it's what I'm on the most. Then, over the course of the day, if I've spent 30 minutes on Instagram in total, it lets me know. It doesn't shut off the app, but it is a simple reminder as to how much time is spent there. When I first started, my average time on Instagram was almost 2 hours a day. That's one app. But now when I go in, it's down to about 55 minutes a day ever since incorporating that just little reminder that says, hey, throughout the day you've been on Instagram for 30 minutes. This is just a small example of how becoming aware of time wasters in life can save you so much time in the long run. My second piece of advice is to recognize where you often say yes, even though saying no would benefit both you and your family. Because, it's not just you that's benefiting from this extra time to recuperate, it's your family as well. Usually these are fun activities or events that when you have the energy sounds great, but at the end of a long week or during the middle of the week are more taxing than anything. It's hard to say no to something that is fun, like a night out with friends or a day spent at a theme park with your kids. These things aren't a bad thing to have in your schedule, but it's really important, especially if you want to find some more rest time, to remember that the weekend or days off are meant for rest and recuperation. The last thing I wanted to talk on was asking for help from others. For me, this is very relevant because I really hate to ask for something, even if I need it and the person has told me 100 times over that they are willing to fill that need for me. So this can be anything from like a loved one watching your kids so you can take a nap, asking your spouse to run to the grocery store for milk, or seeing a friend can cover a shift at work. Any of these things, they can be smaller or bigger. The worst they can say is no. But more than likely, if they love and care for you, they will do what they can to help you, even if it doesn't work out this time. You never know if it might work out the next. And it's not one of those suggestions where you use and abuse the kindness of others without paying it forward, because when you get these moments in to rest and recuperate, you begin to see the importance of them. And then since you're better rested, you can take the opportunity to do the same for someone else in need. It's a great opportunity to reach out to others and build stronger bonds as a community to help serve each other. So first, we find the time wasters and set some boundaries. Then we move on to figuring out where we say yes to plans when we should be saying no. And lastly, we learn to say yes please to help from others instead of saying no thanks whenever they offer. If we can incorporate these little changes into our day-to-day lives, we will find ourselves better rested and able to give more to others around us. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really hope you have a wonderful day. I would love to know how these tips help you, or if you have any tips yourself, just put them in the comments below. I would be happy to hear them. And thanks for stopping by and checking out my page. Hope you guys have a great day.